jerk. Do you think this person sounds at all like a jerk to you? Playhouse, I'm wondering if you can go ahead and submit me to the Am I a Jerk segment. Let me explain to you my situation. I hate that the neighborhood children's games of catch or football or whatever often spill into my yard. So the other day, the kids that were in my yard, ranging from ages 8 to 11, were playing outside, and they ended up in my backyard. And I said, hey, please just stay off our lawn with your games. This is our space. I don't want you on my lawn. Some of the adults in our neighborhood heard me and all give me eyes now. Am I the jerk?
Okay. If I was a kid and I was in that situation, I would say, yes, 100% you are the jerk. If they're just like bumping in there and like running into your lawn to get their ball or something, that's fine. However, if they're constantly going in there, then no, you're not the jerk in any way, because you pay a lot of money for your lawn. Lawn maintenance is really hard. And people need to respect that. That is your property that you paid for. If you don't want somebody else on it, you have every right to make sure that they're not.
I think kind of the jerk you are, because it's like kids 8 to 11 in age. I doubt they're like digging up his grass. I can understand if they're like causing problems. But if it's just they're going over there, the games kind of spill over. They're playing like football, he said, catch. They're just running over there to get a ball. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I think that you're going to be perceived as the jerk, but that being said, I think you have every right to tell people to stay off your space.
100%.
So while I think that you were in your rights, I do think that to everyone else, you are going to be perceived as the jerk. Because even though that those kids were playing on your grass and your property, they're going to perceive that you're the jerk for telling them to go away. And even though those same adults that are judging you probably would also be annoyed if it was their yard, and they're going to perceive you as a jerk too, I still think you might have been right. I don't think there's anything wrong with what you did, but yes, you're going to be perceived as the jerk.
Mm-hmm. Then get a fence if you want privacy.
And that would help, yeah. That might definitely help. Playhouse, am I a jerk? I don't like when people ride my bumper and tailgate me in traffic. When they're impatient on the road and right behind me, what I do is I, in fact, drive slower, well under the speed limit, just smiling at them through my rearview mirror because they bothered me. Am I a jerk?
Yes, you're a jerk. And who cares about the person behind you? But you're a jerk to all the other vehicles around you. When you do something like that despite one vehicle, consider everybody else on the road who is driving, trying to get places. Like, you don't know what people's situation are, if they have to get somewhere really quickly, and then you are playing a game with somebody else. So 100% you're the jerk.
Not the jerk. I think the person who's following them super closely, rules of the road, man, you got to go the speed limit. And if you're going to follow someone like that, just because you're in a hurry doesn't mean you could bend the rules.
But then you're breaking the rules of the road too, because you're slowing down.
No, what's the rule?
Yeah, I mean, there's a minimum.
Yeah,
right?
but I doubt he's going under a minimum. What do you think he's doing less than 45 on the interstate?
I don't know.
Which the minimum on the interstate is 45.
Even though you seem to assume what I was going to say, I actually am going to say that you're not the jerk, because I actually do that as well.
Yeah, that's why. If you're in a hurry and you're riding someone.
Yeah, it bothers me when people are riding my bumper.
Someone said holding up traffic is illegal.
What if you tick me off? I'm going to slow her up. I don't care.
How are they holding it up? They're just driving slower.
Well, it depends on how slow they're going. Like, if you're trying to make a point that you're going to go really slow so that person's like really close up behind you, that's holding up traffic. Like other vehicles.
If you're going like the speed limit and somebody's just like rearing up on you and giving you the fist and angry face.
That's not holding up traffic.
If the speed limit's 35 and you decide to go 30 just to tick them off, I'm a full supporter of that, because they shouldn't be rumming up on you like that.
If you go like that, so I'm imagining that this person is like you see it when people are like driving by, they go really, really slow.
If they're
to make
going
the
like
person mad.
5 miles an hour
okay,
total,
yeah, if
yes,
someone is like
jerk.
doing something ridiculous, but I don't think that's what that person is doing.
I need to know, you need to quantify it for me, but I think with what I'm assuming is happening, you're not a jerk.
Someone said, what if someone's dying or having a baby and you're holding them up? And then someone else said, maybe they are just young drivers and don't know yet.
If I see a pregnant woman screaming in your back seat, I'll move over.
Also, but if someone is having a baby, you still can't just drive crazy. You want to drive. Don't you want to get the
No,
baby alive to the hospital?
No, I think they're talking about the other drivers around.
Who is driving like 5 miles an hour? I think you guys are taking it too literal that these people are creeping.
You do realize I agreed with you, and you keep blocking me in
Not
with Jamie.
you, Jamie, and these people texting.
Don't want to be put in the you guys
I'm not.
category. Dang it. And finally, case number 3 of 3 in Am I a Jerk today? My coworker recently invited me over to their place for dinner, and she asked me what I thought of her decorating after giving a tour to my husband and I. And I said, it's not for me, but I can tell you put a lot of work into it. Basically, I was acknowledging I could see she put in lots of effort, but I didn't care for the style personally. I can tell she's offended, but was I supposed to lie to her?
I think just for being honest, no, you're not the jerk. You were honest. You said it. Sounds like you said it in a nice way. So I'm gonna say no, not the jerk.
I mean, the fact that you even noticed, so I would, maybe not a jerk. You were being honest, but that happens.
Ooh,
I think you were the jerk. I 100% think
Really?
you're the jerk. Yeah, because when you go over to somebody's house, what you're supposed to just be like is, wow, what a beautiful home you have, and I love your decorating, and there's no value to you in being like, it's not for me. She wasn't asking you to buy the place or to sell you on being an interior designer. You're supposed to just be like, oh, wow, your house is so amazing. That's why people invite you over. She didn't want your company and to serve you food. She wanted you to be like, ooh, I'm showing this off to my coworker. Like, that's what that was. Mm-hmm. You got to just, lie. I do think you're the jerk. You're supposed to always say people's house is beautiful, even when it's ugly. Same rule applies to babies and new significant others. Wow, he or she's so handsome. Wow, that's the most beautiful baby I've ever seen. Wow, you're a great decorator. Whoa, that's the coolest new van I've ever seen
What
in my
about
life.
haircuts?
Wow, your haircut looks amazing. You're always supposed to,
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think of my new outfit? Oh, my God. Or, did you hire a stylist? You just lie to people. That's what you do. That's what we do to people.
But how close are you with these people?
I think it doesn't matter who it is. You say, wow, your home is so beautiful.
I'm not gonna lie to someone that that's a close friend.
Yeah,
or family
if
member,
Jamie
though.
asked me something, I would tell her the truth.
Yeah, same.
I think you lie. She didn't
No
really
way.
want your opinion. I think there's a difference between somebody giving you a tour of their home and saying, hey, I'm trying to put this room together. Do you think these pillows work? Or you can tell if they're asking your opinion or if it's just an opportunity for you to be like, your house is amazing. There are two different situations. What you're thinking is what would actually happen because you're such who you are is you'd be over there hanging out and Jamie would be like, I'm working on this guest room. What do you think of what I did with it? There's a difference because you're over there for that reason.
Yeah.
Now, if I invite you over to a dinner party, I want to hear about how immaculate the house is, even if you don't think so. It's different.
Fine. I'll agree.
I knew I could sway you.
It is different.
I'm a lawyer on the weekends. I don't get a lot of business because the courthouse is closed, but I'm a lawyer on the weekends.
It is different.
Someone did text our previous one about kids playing in the backyard and said that they said Y94, when you allow children to play on your lawn, you may expose them to liability if injured. Is that true? Is that the thing?
Yeah. Well, because I have a lot of bear traps.
Yeah.
And before I take them out to the woods, I like to make sure they're working. So I have them all propped up in the yard. And if a kid gets stuck in one of them bear traps, I'm liable for that.
It's on you.
Even though they were in my yard and it's my bear trap. And why are you touching my bear trap?
For all the
So
bears.
that is, yeah.
That is true, even though if you let someone you didn't want in there,
Yeah.
it's not like he was like, hey, kids, come play in my lawn.
Well, you're open to a whole lot of liability if that's what you're doing. But yeah, it's anybody.
So even though he didn't invite them over, they got into the lawn and tripped and broke an ankle.
Yeah, that's what they said.
If there is a magazine salesman, because there's still a lot of them in 2020, coming to your door every day, and you tell him, stop coming to my property or I'm going to beat you with a club. If he comes to your house the next day and slips and trips on your sidewalk, yes, you're still liable. Doesn't matter.
That's not fair.
It's your property. Yeah, they'll come for you.
Oh, boy.
So you magazine salesman, just remember, I got bear traps all over my yard, and I'm not putting up with this crap anymore. Speak out in a second on the show.
This is Y94.